Good evening. Becky? Excuse me, Becky. Hi, Becky.
Not convinced she's hearing you.
I don't think so. I want to see, I left her a message about, Becky, can you hear us?
He's waving.
Becky, can you hear me?
No,
No, you can't hear me?
the volume, I just got the volume going.
Okay.
Hmm.
Did you get my message about when Jeff and I are available next week for a meeting with the contractor, assuming the contract's been approved, sent back, signed?
Yeah, it will be by then. It's on its way. No, what did you say?
Um, we're both available Monday and Friday all day. Tuesday doesn't work for me. Wednesday doesn't work for Jeff. Thursday I could meet. I'm available in the afternoon, say after probably after 2 o'clock.
So we're talking the 6th through the 10th?
That week, yes,
Yes, okay. So it's Monday or Friday,
all day.
all day. Monday. Both days look good for me.
Okay.
Okay, now we just got to get Rick out here.
Hi, Frank. You're muted.
By accident, I clicked it back on. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Stephen, did you set up a time with Russ for Friday to do the sill?
Well, this is to scope it out, 9 o'clock.
Okay, yeah.
We're not going to do it. Oh, Russ Wilson is willing to take the lead on replacing the door sill
Oh,
at Old
okay,
Town Hall.
good.
Hey,
Hi,
Anna.
Anna.
Hi.
Hi. I know I reminded Steve and he should be on his way.
I will.
Wait a couple minutes. Jeff, were you at town meeting?
No,
Anna?
I went to vote, but I was
Okay.
with the kids. It just wasn't happening this year.
You made
Well,
the
I
paper.
just-
Stephen made the paper.
at the
The
post office.
Greenfield Gazette or something. There's a picture of you and the missus voting.
Nice.
Me?
You.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to go look.
Yeah. Well, just to fill you in, we had talked about in our request for future planning, we had requested $40,000
Mhm.
be approved. And on the town warrant, it said 30,000. So I asked Becky about it, and she explained that I guess it was just sort of hocus pocus accounting, the 10,000 is coming from some source, Becky would know, other than where the 30,000 is coming from. So we got our 40,000 basically.
Yeah, the free cash is paying for the 30,000. 10,000 is being established in the budget. And then next year, we're gonna fund 20,000 through the budget and use 20 more of free cash until we get to 40.
Okay, so, and we have some money, say, still in the coffers. So what is our total that we have to work with currently? Well, excuse me, maybe I should, since I'll call this meeting to order at 5:34. While Becky's looking, have people had a chance to review the minutes from April the 3rd?
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
Me too.
I was just trying to open them, but I seem to have an issue where I always have to request access each time. Does everybody have that?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
on, are you on Apple products?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, because I am. I'm surprised that you're having that problem.
Yeah. And I guess I shouldn't have said every time, but it's happened before.
Yeah,
Oh,
I remember
okay.
you telling me that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
um,
I don't know. I
Not
did
a
request.
uncommon occurrence.
Okay.
I show
Okay,
a
so I'll make
balance of $5,801.62.
5,000 is what we've got.
Mhm.
So we now have 45 and change.
Well, we will July 1st.
Okay.
I think the free cash could be used ahead of July 1st, but the appropriated amount can't.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
second,
All in favor? Cook, McGinn,
aye.
Quackenbush,
Aye.
Dalmas, aye. Thank you. Okay, so we had the issue with the gutters at the school, and the contractor was supposed to come out. I forget the exact date, but
Monday.
I arrived there at they said between 10 and 12. I arrived there at 10 or maybe just a little bit before, and Steve Sullivan was actually already there doing something else, chatting with the neighbor. But the roofer was not there. And so I went up to fire department, did a little bit of continuation of the inspection of the fire department, came back several times. Long story short, by 12:15, there was no roofer. Well, I looked more closely at the back gutter and I noticed where the pop rivets had been pulled out when the gutter expanded in the winter, that there were new rivets there. So I got my telescoping ladder and was able to just look over the edge of the gutter, and the roofer had already been there.
I think they came Sunday, they finally said.
Yeah, well, Steve Sullivan then at some point, maybe last meeting, said that the neighbor said that they had seen trucks with ladders there on Sunday.
Yeah.
So the roofer, you could see the EPDM at each joint. And according to the roofer, they put in a slip joint, expansion joint, but it's all covered. So there's no way for us to see it. They didn't take any photos. They said they also did the ones in the courtyard. So until we check those, we'll assume those were done as well. But that's the lowdown on that. And then Jeff, you want to explain what you and I did at town hall? to the mini
Oh.
splits.
Yeah, it's been so long, I forgot. So we replaced the insulation on the piping for the mini splits. So, with the, same stuff that they used on my units. And, I went down to the fire station, and the fire station work, they need to be done. But I haven't done those yet, so I'll do them on a warm day. And we checked over at, the old town hall, those units, the insulation is still good. And I've called twice now to the roofing, the shingle guy for the library, and he still hasn't returned my phone calls. So I don't know if he's blowing us off or what. I'll try a
Might be
couple
his,
more
might
times.
be his busy season. Now
Yeah,
the
probably.
weather's warmed up.
Okay, so the dam keeper's roof, any progress on getting the felt paper and checked for fiberglass? I mean, for asbestos?
Asbestos.
I'm sorry, nope. I hope to get that done this week. I'm just digging out from town meeting.
I bet. It was a good meeting.
It was a good meeting, I think.
What time did it go till?
We were done
What-
by 2:10?
Okay. That's not bad.
No, it was much better, much better. Not too long.
Very few dissenting voices.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
And the big ticket items I thought would be lengthy debates, and they weren't. So that was amazing.
Well, I think that and the specialty energy code was
Mm.
removed from the warrant.
Yeah.
It turned
How
out
come?
that they were supposed to have a hearing and that wasn't made clear when they, anyway, the ECAC hadn't done one and then they were saying that they thought the select board should have done one, but they didn't communicate that, so there was not one done and it's required prior to the vote, so it'll come
Yeah.
back to another town meeting.
Okay.
A lot of people were relieved that I talked to.
Mm.
There seemed to be some concerns about it. So it'll be at another town meeting.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. So last week, Jeff and I went over and took a look at the door sill at Old Town Hall, which I think maybe several of us looked at in the past. And it looks like it definitely needs to be replaced. And so I talked with Russ Wilson, and he's willing to kind of be the lead on that. And we're going to meet Friday morning with Becky to sort of scope it out. And I have a couple of possible candidates for the sill material, which I'll bring for us to look at. So the only probably real expense will be some screws, nails, that sort of thing.
What do you mean you have some candidates?
I have a
For a
couple
sill
pieces
material.
of solid, hard wood. I'm not sure
Oak?
what they, pardon?
What kind of wood?
Yeah. Solid.
They're heavy, solid, hard, old. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. I've had it. It was in some person's attic for 50 years. We've had it for 50 years, 40 years.
Oh,
It's time to get rid of it.
Probably a
time to
nice
get
piece
rid
of
of it.
walnut. Okay.
I don't think it's walnut, but who knows? We'll see
Okay.
when we cut into it.
My only
Okay.
question is, because this, do we have to we don't have to talk to anyone about replacing this. It's a historic building, so are they going to be complaining that you put a piece of solid wood in there instead of a period piece or something?
I don't think so.
Well, this is a period piece.
Well, that's
Given its age,
it has provenance.
it's
Okay,
not
just,
probably not as old as the building, but pretty old.
yeah, good.
What time on Friday are you guys gonna go? 9?
We're going to meet to look at this at 9.
And then you're gonna go over to the look at the hole in the roof of the schoolhouse?
Already fixed that.
You did?
Russ and I saw Steve. Steve, that was great. You sent that email out. I saw the email. I thought I should go up and look at it. So I went up. Steve had left his ladder there. So I put it up, climbed up, took some photos, went up, said something to Becky. Then I went over to Russ's and he was available and got a piece of flashing and went back and made a temporary repair that'll keep it from leaking. But we're going to need access to the building to repair some sheathing from the inside.
When
And
did you
then,
do this repair?
And after
Uh,
4 o'clock, before 5:30.
yeah,
Okay, because I went over about 3:20 and okay. Wasn't repaired then. All right.
yeah, I may have first gone up there about that time. Then I went up to town hall, then over to Russ's, and then we came back.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Very good.
You can go look again. It should look like it's got a temporary repair.
Okay.
Thank
I'll
you.
have to, I'll have to keep an eye on that roof. There was literally 6 to 8 inches of pine needles on that whole back side of the roof.
Yeah. I noticed now that you got it cleaned off, did you notice the moss growth?
Yeah, I was able to blow some of it off, but not much.
I have a pump sprayer designed to handle bleach, and if you use a bleach and water solution, I've got the recipe. I mean, just you cut the bleach and you spray the roof with that. It'll kill all that moss, and then it dries up and comes off.
And you put a zinc strip on the top of the roof.
Well, that's one of the things that I recommended in the report, but we have to find a historic zinc strip.
I thought in the past you said we were supposed to use borax.
For mold.
That's to kill the ants.
This is algae growth. Borax, we're talking about cleaning mold inside a building. This is to kill the moss and algae growth on the roof surface
Yeah.
outside.
Okay. Because I got the same problem in my house, and I thought you had said before use borax and opposed to bleach for the shingles.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I have this pump sprayer that specifically is designed for bleach, and I use that on our smaller building roof.
Okay.
So you should come over to your house, Jeff. Get the ladder out.
Okay, a couple other things. Becky sent out a email about this all boards meeting on the 11th. Is that right, Becky?
Yep, and it's at 6 o'clock. I think I failed to put in the time.
And the intent is to discuss what kind of meetings the committees want to have going forward. And Becky, correct me if I'm wrong. So it's either in person, hybrid, or Zoom. And I guess one question I have is, Anna, are you always at home or are you sometimes still at your office or?
For the regular 5:30 meeting?
Yeah, for our meetings.
Both. It's a mix. Some at
Uh-huh.
home today, but I've done both.
Well, I guess the first question is I'd say because you are working full time, what is best, would be best for you? Working full-time plus you have a family.
In like, are you to meet in person somewhere or what?
Well, that's what we're, that's the three choices
Sure.
are hybrid, in-person, or Zoom. And I guess we could
Sure.
occasionally have an in-person meeting, but
Sure, yeah.
Zoom, I mean, I don't see a problem with us meeting as we are. How's everybody feel about it?
I'm fine with Zoom.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine either way. Sometimes I am with the kids, so like I just have them in front of the TV while we Zoom, but many
Yeah.
times I'm not. So, I
Right.
mean, I would say Zoom's easier on the big picture, but both are fine.
I would say
Steve
Zoom.
Sullivan. Steve Sullivan, what's your preferred way for us to meet? There's a discussion on the 11th, an all boards meeting about Zoom meeting, hybrid meeting, or in-person meeting. What's your preference?
I can do either. Olaf might have to wait for his walk, but I could do any of those three, whatever works the best for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Zoom right now is fine. And, if we want for a particular reason to have a in-person one, um, then we could decide on that.
Yeah, because it seems like when something comes up, we can meet wherever that building is. But
Yeah.
this committee, for me, it does really work on Zoom, where when I was on the school committee, I was so tired of meeting on Zoom because it really makes a big difference to have all of the members meeting face to face and talking about school issues. But this one works really well on Zoom.
Point.
Plus, then you can work in the kitchen.
Mhm.
Putting Olaf's dinner together now.
Right.
Ah, a very important dinner.
Okay. So it sounds like for now, I mean, we're good with Zoom meetings, and if there time comes where we want to have an in-person meeting, um, we can
I
do
think
that.
the last in-person meeting we did was the looking at the plans together. Remember that? There were three of
Yeah.
us. So I
Mhm.
mean, there'll come a time, well, I don't know if we'll have big plans like this again, but there'll be times in the future that we'll need to do that because it'll be
Right.
just easier to look at things as a group and make decisions.
Well, the one other thought I had was maybe during the warmer weather when we have light later, it might be worth going to some of the buildings that the inspection is complete or pretty much complete, and everybody can look at the spreadsheet and see what I've put in there. And I'm sure
Yeah.
there'll be suggestions on changes, modifications, additions. So that would be a reason to have a meeting actually on site, but in person.
What time is the old boards meeting?
6th
On the 11th.
of June.
Okay. I sent out this afternoon a revised intro for the spreadsheets. I don't know if people had a chance to look through that.
Yes.
Yes.
That look better?
Yeah, look fine.
Mhm.
So Frank, do you still need to get some of the photos in? And because I looked today and there's no photo for the dam keepers, and the fire department roof photo is actually the highway department roof.
Okay. I'll look into the photos. Yeah.
Okay. at town meeting, the chair of the Historic Commission, Mr. Geddes, was speaking about the renovation of the signboard and this gazebo. And Steve Sullivan sent us all, I think, the drawings, plans of this gazebo. People seen that?
I haven't seen it.
Jeff,
Yes.
did you,
Yes,
Anna?
Yeah, I saw it. It was like the.
So I guess, well, first question, Becky. I mean, Mr. Getty spoke as if this is happening. And does the Historic Commission have, quote, the authority to build a structure without,
They came to the select board,
uh-huh,
about the guide board. I don't believe the select board approved the pavilion, so I have to go back to the minutes and figure that out. So if the select board hasn't approved it, they need that approval because they don't have authority over town common or town property. But so if they didn't approve it, they have to come back. But the other major concern I have is, that structure looked like it would take more than $3,000 to build. And that's all I see that they have.
well, if you remember at the meeting, Mr. Geddes talked about this being a volunteer project as far as the construction went.
Well, that's another issue that the select board would have to review. I mean, it could possibly be one. We can't do volunteer projects at the elementary school anymore.
Right.
And I think we would really want to be sure, yeah, the building committee would probably want to be sure that this volunteer project was properly supervised.
Right. Yeah, well, I told, I think at the last meeting I had gotten, I was contacted by Bert Fernandez, who was on the committee. And, I explained to him that they being the Historic Commission, would need to also go through us for this. But, I've, I have an aesthetic issue with putting this structure over top of this element, which traditionally has never had, a protective element over it.
Just in principle or something specific to the design?
Well, I think in principle, yeah.
Okay.
It's like here's this historic element, and essentially you're altering it. No, why don't we put it in a museum?
Well, one of their first ideas was to put it in the old town hall. And then they realized, well, maybe doing that defeats the purpose of having it.
Right.
Mhm.
So then they talked about bringing it back outside, but covering it to protect it.
I'm on Bob Grove's team with this thing. He talked about that a long time ago where he said it's been repaired and repainted and done so many times that they're going to be lucky to find anything original on it.
Right.
Yeah, and Bob would know because he was the last person to redo it.
Yeah, that's what Russ Wilson said today, that Bob and there was another
Jim Aaron did it, I think, 15 years before Bob did it.
15 years ago is what Russ was saying. Yeah. And so it's really,
15 years ago was Bob, and then you go back another 20
I
plus
see.
or 10
Got it.
years when Jim Aaron did it.
Got it. Okay.
If this does go forward with this structure, does the building code apply to this, or is this like a landscape feature and building code is not relevant?
Oh, good question.
I think
I think the building code applies
that would be my guess.
since
So
it's
then, sorry, go
sitting
ahead.
on public property.
Okay. So the two things that jump out at me looking at the sketches is the head height of 6'6",
I know
Mhm.
it's way
And-
too short.
And then also the struts, the like diagonal supports, which would be lower than the
Right.
6. And Jeff, maybe you remember this, whatever the commercial code is for visually impaired, where if something is jutting out a certain amount, you need like an associated thing at the bottom for someone to
Yeah,
hit with their
yeah.
cane. So there's some rule, if it's lower than a certain amount, then you need like
Yeah.
that same thing in plane with that down at the ground
Yeah.
level.
We used to call that the drinking fountain issue. It was
Oh,
always,
yeah.
drinking fountains always stuck out far enough to
To-
need the guard.
The guard. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, those are
I
the two
just,
things that jump out to me if this was to go forward and, per the sketch.
yeah, I just found the thing too tight to it needed to be higher.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And then
probably
I mean,
wider.
6 is fine for me. I'm 5 foot, so y'all can duck, but
then it would need a foundation or, some piers under it.
I think it had piers. Did it have piers? I thought I saw some note, but it doesn't get into the details, but I would want to clarify that it's 4 feet and all that.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah, it's just-
wind's gonna be an issue up there.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Sure, and there is sheer
Right.
requirements that maybe could be addressed with proper bracket selection. So Hey, I'm in a meeting.
Hi.
But yeah, the shear and the uplift on the whole thing would be something
Hmm.
someone would want to look at.
Yep.
So that means you'd have to hire an engineer.
Maybe. What are the it's all
You'd
Doug
be safe.
Carter?
You'd be safest if you hired an engineer,
Yes.
but
Yeah,
it makes the volunteer part harder.
sure. It's such a simple structure too. You almost could have the engineer be the designer and kind of be one and done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just takes money.
Yeah, that's a good point about the wind and all that. Yeah. Fun times. Nothing's easy anymore.
No, and it also looked to me, what type of roof would they put on that? For me,
Yeah.
I would like shake if you're doing something to make it look historical, but if you put asphalt, it's gonna blow off. Or tabbed roofing, that just doesn't make sense to me. I don't like it at all. I just, the whole defeats the purpose. I'd like to know how many towns in New England have a gazebo over their antique or semi-antique signpost. 0.
Sure. I've never seen one.
Montague's isn't. I know I drive by that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did like Bob Groves, and I don't remember the name. What was the name of that town down the street that didn't exist, Becky?
Oh, I forgot.
Oh.
Not, I can't remember.
Someone painted it on the old signpost and then it
It's
got
like-
painted over.
Rick Kim.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Oh, it was a great story.
It's great. I love it.
Do you know that story, Jeff?
No.
I don't know it either.
The it was state representative from Leverett, kept on applying for certain monies, and year after year he didn't get it. So he applied the one year and said it was the town of Ripken, and they needed the money, and they got it.
Hmm.
But Leverett didn't get it, so someone put on our signpost, Ripken, 3 miles down the road.
Yeah, that's a good story.
Okay. Well, those are the things that I had. Anybody else have anything before we try assigning some more action levels?
The only other thing I saw is you guys see the article in the paper on the Amherst Library cost?
Ooh, $8,000 over?
8,000,
8
8
million.
million.
8 million. Yeah.
Like,
Is
And
their library big in there?
is this an addition, Jeff?
The new library addition they plan for Amherst?
Yeah, I mean, what's the How many
What's the
square
bid
feet?
price? I don't know how many square feet. I think
Oh,
it's like,
it's 15,000 square feet compared to the 105,000 or it is for the school. Yeah, it was the one general contractor, 7 million over, and they're not sure because there weren't any electrical subcontractors. If that includes the 3 million for an electrical subcontractor the GC needs to find, or if that's
Wow.
in it or not in it.
Well, the good news is, Mary Ann said 16, people have taken out the bid documents so far for the Shutesbury project.
good.
Right.
And DA Sullivan took them out this week finally, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, they said that there were 9 that had taken them out for the Jones Library and only 1 turned them back in.
One submitted a bid, you know.
Yeah.
Yep, Fontaine.
We're gonna get 15 bids.
Yeah.
You want to bet?
I'm confident, Jeff,
Okay,
at least 11.
at least 11.
Wow.
I'll be happy with 6.
Yeah, 6 would be. But I think we're gonna get some back. I think our project is much more straightforward than Amherst.
Yeah, I think there also could be what I term the Amherst factor. at play here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, you don't, huh?
No, no.
No. Okay,
All right. So Becky, can you have Frank as co-host? You can bring up the spreadsheets. So I haven't been, seems like I've been dealing with a lot of other things. Haven't been doing too much inspecting of late, so we'll see what there is to go through, but there should be some.
have you finished inspecting the fire station?
No,
Okay. Because I wouldn't, that would be one that I wouldn't, I'd like to see the fire station. Um, sometime, so maybe that's one where we have an actual meeting where everybody gets together.
oh, there we are.
Yeah, look at that.
Linda's gonna look, put her hand down a little lower next time she votes, so she gets in the picture.
Or use the other hand.
Oh, that's
Right.
true. In front of Stephen.
Right.
Yeah, you were sitting almost next to the reporter, Shelby.
Oh, so that's why that gentleman was taking notes.
Yeah,
Ah, it's she.
she.
Oh,
Yeah,
well
she had
then,
a computer and was taking notes throughout.
oh, well then that's not, there was a gentleman sitting next to me.
Huh. Well, she was within a row. I think she might have been in front of you.
Okay.
I thought she was next to you, but it must have been the other row. And she lives in town.
Frank, you can scroll through town hall, but I think we've,
Yeah, I think,
well, we haven't back up just a little for the
Yeah. yeah, we haven't done this section. So plaster and sheetrock. Monitor.
Oh, is there any issue?
just some cosmetic flaws.
Like normal stuff?
Yeah.
Is this in town hall?
Yeah, we're in town hall.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a result of the leaking that showed up in my chimney again about 2 weeks ago. I think that has the same reason the kitchen paint peels. There's leaks that get in there.
Let's go a low priority.
Low, okay.
Yeah,
Same with the paint until we fix the leak.
Well, I don't know if we'll ever fix the leak, but the paint, it hasn't been painted in about 20 years and it flakes all over the floor all the time. It's awful.
Well, the peeling, well, the kitchen is on the opposite side of the building from your office, Becky.
It's on the other side of the hallway, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't, and there's no water source over on that side of the hall on your floor, correct?
On my floor?
Yeah, so like in the assessor's office and in I'll say the secretary's office across the hall from you, there's no water source.
No sinks.
No sinks, no toilets.
No.
So I don't know that, I mean, I won't tell you I have a thought yet on what the cause is, but I don't think it's any kind of leak.
Are you talking about the kitchen or my office?
The kitchen.
Yeah. Well,
No,
the
your
reason,
office is related to the chimney.
right. The kitchen has, I think with all the different, between the heating, plumbing, and then the regular plumbing, there's a lot of piping that moves through, the ceiling of the kitchen. And I don't believe we have any access to it. I don't know, unless it's up in, it's just been a problem since, for as long as I can remember. And it's, we have to make sure to sweep up before we ever have visitors because there's paint chips all over the floor.
Well, one thing that I haven't done that I should do on that ceiling is scan it with the thermal imaging camera and also use the moisture meter on it to see if there's any suspicion of moisture from above the ceiling. So
Okay.
that's something for me to do.
That would be great.
And that's in the oldest part of the building?
It's all old. The building
Okay.
was all built at the same time except for the elevator addition.
Right, okay. So it could be an old calcined paint that just doesn't like humidity. And you either scrape it all off or you take 1/4-inch sheetrock and put a new layer up there and spackle it and call it a day. And seal it in.
so for the moment, should we put further inspection required?
Yeah.
Which is Funkin' Wagnall, holy smokes.
That's all the floor surfaces, 12.3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have the green tape on the stairs, on the carpet yet? No, I don't see that.
Yeah, how long are those racing stripes gonna be there?
Until the painting's done, right?
Oh, another 30 years, okay.
It's only been there 4 years.
Oh, so in other words, you're never gonna get that tape off the wall.
Right.
I have a feeling it's gonna be an issue.
I'll paint over it just for texture.
So we'll say this monitor
option.
this one. No, what?
Well, how about anticipate future need to replace, because it's always flooring.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I believe the kitchen tiles are asbestos.
Yeah, probably.
Stairway at upper level entry wood frame.
Well, what's that mean?
That's the construction.
Stairway at upper level entry wood frame.
Yeah, when you come in,
I'm not getting it.
if you come in from the main entrance, Cooleyville side of the building, you
Yeah,
come in and then you go up, what is it, 3 or 4 stairs?
yeah,
It's wood frame, the stair. It's not a steel.
okay.
The front of the building?
Pardon?
Are you talking about the front of the building where the
Yeah.
lift is? Okay.
Yeah, where the lift is.
So I guess we'll just say monitor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aha.
Is this the door closer that we fixed a year ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see there, to the right of the open box, 2023 door closers removed, refurbished, reinstalled.
Well, you want to put that in there since the door closer's not working correctly?
Is it not working correctly?
Well, that's what you say to the left.
Well, that's what
Door
it's, so I
slam.
guess the question is, when something's repaired, do I then come back and remove the comment that was, the comment was made and then the repair was made?
I think we get rid of the comment. I mean, get rid of the repair. Door closure on exit. Because we fixed that problem for now. And when it comes up again, it might be
Something
you know,
else.
something else. So
I'm continuing to find the door open. When I go into that room.
Well, it has to be, it does not have enough tension to shut itself. And I think the door, I could be wrong, the door may also bind a little bit, but it has to be, it'll shut softly, but it won't latch.
Right.
And when Len, the fire chief, was adjusting the tension, it was very difficult for him to get it as tight as it is now. So,
So that's as good as that's gonna get.
yeah, unless somebody else knows how to increase the tension.
Or we get a new closer.
Or we get a new closer.
Because I'm not liking the idea that the door's not closing.
mhm.
Not latching.
Yeah, right.
Not closing. Because I mean, it doesn't close all the way. It doesn't latch, but
So
I
further
think that-
inspection required on that.
Well, or I was going to say high priority.
Okay.
I'll take another look at that and see, and then probably change the comment.
Okay. How's the
If you-
front door working, Becky?
the front door has been okay,
Okay, good.
but the back door, that whole thing is about to
Yeah.
fly off.
Yeah, I don't know where that is coming up here. I was thinking about that. I came in to pay my taxes today and came in through the back because it was all cars in the front. So I had to park in the back. And Becky, you weren't there. And I just noticed that door again. I think wherever it is on here should be a high priority high, and it should be replaced with a commercial, workable, handy access metal frame door. Do you know where that is, Stephen?
I don't have anything there because it would be part of that comment.
Oh, okay.
You know, when I did the initial inspection,
Yeah.
that may not have been the issue that it is now. So
Okay, so let's
do
do,
that again, and
yeah, let's, yeah, review it and look at that again and then come up with a solution.
Yeah, because the whole thing is not connected on the ground. And now the water, we had to rip to get the door to close the last time things fell apart.
Yep.
The only way we could close it is to rip off the sheathing on the bottom. And so now water just pours in during a rainstorm. So the mat absorbs the water and then I haul the mat back outside to dry.
And that wasn't in your original job description.
We can add it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, okay. Yeah, let's look at that and address that at a future meeting. Because I had actually, I have to look at my logs. I actually found a guy in Springfield that does commercial doors. He was going to come up and look at it, but then everyone said it was okay after the first fly off, and we can address that again.
These seem to be working beautifully. The new windows.
Oh, now that spring is here.
So now that we've replaced these two windows, are there any other window issues?
I don't think so. No,
So
we
we
just
should
have the
just say,
doors.
let's just say monitor then.
Okay.
Monitor.
Monitor. Monitor. Still works. It still works.
still works.
Monitor still works. I don't know how often it's used.
Or do we need a broiler function or not?
It doesn't have a broil function. I mean, it never did.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
It
It's not
has
that it's
two
broken.
elements, but either the top one doesn't heat or they operate independently, and I never could verify that it got red hot.
How often is the stove used, Becky?
Once or twice a year.
Okay.
And whenever it's inspected.
So we'll keep on monitoring that. And then freezer.
Monitor, I guess.
Yep.
So that's 15 years old. I bought it in 2009.
Wow.
Monitor.
Monitor. And monitor.
Monitor. What's 9 noted? What's that for?
9 of them are padlocked. They have locks and they have hasp on them and they're locked shut.
Okay.
Oh, good. That looks like town hall's done.
So I can, you know, recheck a few things there. And then,
Mhm.
you know, town hall might be one that we would all visit and go through the spreadsheet and see what additions or changes would be worth making to it.
Definitely.
We probably may want to prioritize which priority high we want to try to tackle first.
Hmm.
Well, I guess the question is, do we want to try and does it matter if all the buildings are done before we do that? But right after I said that, I thought of the electrical, there are a number of electrical things. Like it still has one functioning fuse panel where the fuses are oversized for the circuits. And some of the older sub panels have a number of questionable, say, wiring practices.
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of having electrical items be correct.
Causes of most fires.
Yeah, less chance of your building burning down.
Mhm.
Was that picked up in these comments?
Well, go to electrical.
Yeah, you have high priority on it.
Okay,
Overfuse too large, yeah.
Yeah, and if you read through that large comment in 9.2, like there's one of the panels in the lower level meeting room, the brand is Pushmatic, and those breakers only use a thermal trip. All newer breakers have a thermal and a magnetic trip. So, I mean, that ought to be replaced just because, first off, getting new breakers for it would be pretty difficult. I mean, they don't make that brand anymore.
Mhm.
But there are a whole slew of things that I noted there that warrant correction or improvements.
This sounds like it's an expensive fix.
There could be some cost to it. Yeah, I mean, the best thing to do is get, an electrical contractor,
Yep.
2, 3, come in and review the things I noted and see what else they note. And
Yep.
Hey guys, you guys gotta go talk somewhere else. I'm wondering, just in terms of efficiency, if there is any case to be made for gathering all the data on the building so that like if all the electrical work can be done independently of other structural or other carpentry work, could we lump it all together to get an electrician to do all the work in one quote? Does that help streamline just like the process and the billing and the payments and all of that, or is it better to keep it separate because we have to like account for the money separately?
well, to respond to that quickly, Steve Sullivan got a $25,000 warrant item for electrical improvements, a generator, a propane tank at the highway department. Well, I haven't looked at everything at the fire department. The electrical system there looks to be in very good shape overall. And then there's no electrical at the Hearst House. There's no electrical at West Schoolhouse number 2. There's no electrical at Dam Keeper's house.
Okay.
There's, I guess that I could look at Old Town Hall. That's the only
Yep.
place where maybe I should evaluate that electrical.
Oh, it's a mess.
All right, so
With-
yeah, I mean, I think Anna's point is good to consolidate electrical.
And then also if we do something because of all the new energy codes, we might be able to get state money for it, Becky, or something like that to upgrade.
May be able to, yep.
So, yeah.
So I got 2 quotes for the replacing of the panel at the highway department. And one was for 3,800 and one was for 6,400 to do the exact same thing.
Oh, wow. It's a big difference.
Who was the lower one?
Shocking.
York and Marnie was the more expensive one.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Sorry, it cut
Okay.
out. What was the lower one?
Pechoric Electric.
Okay.
Sometimes he's given us really good pricing if it's included in an estimate. Like this is part of work that we're also installing the new generator at the highway department.
Mhm.
I think he's better, his pricing's much better when it's, not, you can't just let him give you you've got to box him in with a bid amount. or the pricing gets out of control.
What about Josh Kingsbury?
Yeah.
He's
He's
also
our-
our assistant,
Electrical inspector. He's down the street from me. That's the only reason I ask. And
yeah,
he's got his own company and he's in town, so
Balance Electric.
yep.
Yeah, I haven't used him because Mo was getting his new hip, so he has, Josh was having to do all the electrical inspecting.
Oh, okay.
I think you can get another town inspector to inspect his own work, I think I've done that in a couple of towns.
Mo is back now too, so
Okay.
he has his new hip and he's mobile, so we could use Josh. I've been using Ryan. What's Ryan's last name? He's another local Shutesbury electrician. He's been doing a good job. He's done a few things at town hall. Put in our emergency signs and redid the lighting in the hallway downstairs was not legal. And that's been removed. The other meeting is coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's 6:29. So do I
Okay.
hear a motion to close the meeting?
That's a
move.
motion to close the meeting.
Second,
Second,
all in favor? Cook,
aye.
McGinn,
Aye.
Quackenbush,
All right.
Sullivan,
Aye.
Dalmas, aye. Thank you, everyone. See you in 2
Thank you.
weeks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Aye.
you guys. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.